exactly.
The morphing of this language right here, it quickly moves to cassette is actually the language of covenant, and it's the language of the bow. And this is where we get the word the bow in the sky from, kuf shin tav. It's where we get, and I'll put a bow in the sky. Well, this is the ancient order of what we call the covenant, and it's the covenant of the Father. Isn't it interesting that it's the kuf tav in this vibration? That's actually kuf tav by vibration means constituted, and then the shin tav is where we get the word Seth from, and it means the garment. But yet you put them all together, and you have the covenant. I'll put this in the sky. Well, it's not in the sky; it's in your blood. How do you close this garment? How do you find it? You're going to have to walk through the sheen. That's why I highlighted the sheen right here, because you're going to have to walk the walk of inculcation. You're going to have to walk in the earth as Adam again to find what it is within yourself, to know that you're sovereignly established. This shakes a lot of people when you start talking sovereignly, because they can feel the pressure of responsibility coming upon them.
Oops. Sorry.
Whoops.
That's a sheen.
I'm not seeing what she's doing. Wow. I'm sure we can get over a little
Little bit of it.
Shippai in transit.
Hey, sorry. I'm so sorry. That shocked me when I saw it. That's what happens. You need to check what you're typing before you send it. I apologize.
I've never seen the kuf move in this vibration before in the page. I've never seen kushin or kuf resh shin tav. So we have this quick acceleration of these last kuf resh shin tav, these last four letters that are moving very quickly in progression. And we already know that resh is the language of the first occurrence of the resh or the rosh. It's a strong 7218 or more so up to strong 7222. But it's where we get the word Bereshit from. So what's coming quickly is the headship of your own sounding.
Well, and this is what I think is amazing that you just said that. The letter right before kuf is the pei.
Yeah.
So when you have the sacred language as the risen pei, the last letters, Reshit, go quickly.
Yes, when you
because
know
the sacred languages help you to establish that.
Pei kuf reshin talk. When you know the boundaries of your mouth, and this is huge when you comprehend the boundaries, because you will be restricted or freed based on the boundaries of what you know and how you prognosticate over yourself. A priest would know this. A witness would know this. A testimony would know how to declare a self-sovereigning sentence to extrapolate out the sentencing of freedom upon themselves. God, some assembly required. And remember, the frequency of Yeshua is the frequency of victory, which resonates as a constitution, as the government of Israel, Knesset. So that self-governing is based on your comprehension of, now let's go back, let's just slow it down a little bit. Let's just slow this down. This kuf noon, as Cain, has got a dropped leg. When you know how to raise this leg, you'll realize that these two words actually they can't be, I'm going to say this again. You can't separate them. They live in the exact same space. The Paleo Hebrew is the ancient Aramaic. There is no vowel points. There is no commas. There's nothing to say. There's no drop. There's no essence of dropping, because the whole Aramic, Aram, Arum, is where we get the word Abraham. It's all the language of the risen. There is no dropping. We came into the drop. We came into the Hebrew to learn how to navigate ourselves in the land. We had to walk it out as a testimony, and we put ourselves under the oppression or the boot of the oppressor to rise. Hopefully, this is where we are right now. This is coming in as a witness to see where you are in your own sound sentencing. So in this vibration of Kuf Noon, this is the language of germination. We've just entered germination, and we're quickly moving into the bloom. The exact same, this Kuf Noon is moving into the Kuf Mem with the olive in the center. So now we're moving into the language of a progenitor, of a depth of resolve. And when you put the Kuf olive Mem this together, that's the word for to stand. If you don't know Cain as a vibration, as an offering, to put it together with able as divine inspiration as the living breath, to put underfoot a vain imagination, to connect to what the word does to fill you back up so your imagination is filled as sound, as whole, as well. You'll never know what it is to be a progenitor, to come out as a rose, Cain, as an established covenant in the earth again. I just showed you what those frequencies are. Again, I'm pulling on a string right now, and I could pull on the string, and as you can see the board right here, it's going like, whoo. I'm going to erase this part right here, but I need to say this, but as a universal man, Adam, we have drawn out the sovereign Adonai title of Kadmon, the portion of reward gifted to the burden of deed. This is now the language of Damascus. Carrie, can you read this? This deed is the acquisition. You must acquire this language in the court of law. Where is the court of law? Where is this sanctum of holy? Where is this da? Where is this ta? Where is this language of fire? Where? In your heart. There, yeah. It's in you. You're not looking to go anywhere unless you need to go to the bathroom. There's the courtroom. Prosecute away.
And really, it's the heart versus the mind.
It's the heart versus the mind based on a projection put upon you of a lesser, most likely, a lot of us, not most likely, most of us have lived in a lesser dimension where we're being encroached upon by another sovereign sentencing over us, and we freely relinquished our sovereign standing for that to happen.
Right.
No one took it from you.
Right.
And again, I want to be careful with that, because like, well, I was 5. I'm going like, things are in play bigger than we can comprehend. Yes, there's a breach. Yes, but it fractures out. We don't know behind the scenes of past life experiences of why this is happening. So let's take it right to the root of Adam to say, well, let's take it right to origin and just say, hey.
At least what we have access to with the sacred writings.
So I can take it right to origin. I can say we gave up by free will the choice to walk into the construct to experience what it is to gather ourselves.
And it wasn't Eve's fault.
It wasn't Eve's fault. Other than no, I know you're saying that in humor.
I am, because that's usually what comes up.
Well, it is Eve's fault. It is Eve's fault because Eve is you. It's not, and it is solely dependent on your excavation of yourself. Eve is your atmosphere. Eve was taken out of it, and it's more of an ethereal. It's not Eve in the garden anymore. It's Eve inside of you through aspiration of breath, through the inhalation and the exhalation. And in that in between, you ponder, and I release a mist in my garden. All that mist, and through the pondering of excavation of what it is to self-title yourself through the deed of action, word, to know how to sentence yourself, I always speak a declaration of decree that then releases, and it goes back to the mountaintop, deposits on the mountaintop, and it rains back down. It flows out as a river. That's my cycle. The mountain and the river are one. My heart and my head and my mouth are connected. As the deed of my hand is fulfilled by the commitment of my feet, I walk in the way.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
So this is very important, because what's happening right now, again, the board's really busy right here. Could you erase this right here, Carrie, just to release some of this clutter? Just the burden, the acquisition of Adam. I just wanted to get
All of that?
from right here, all of that right there. Yeah, let's just
Okay.
get that out there.
Go for it.
And as you can see, this is really important, because I want to point out that in the language of what Sekhmet is as a vibration. So we have this vibration, we call it the great collector, or the great attractor, sorry. And this was again connecting with the past dream. The great attractor. Well, the great attractor is you. The great attractor, take it back to the law case about what these planets are, and especially in this month that we're in with this moon and all this celestial activity. All of it is coming in as a vibration to connect with us, to see where we are in the resonance of spiritual fire. It's coming in to say, I want to attract to you, I want to grasp you, but if you're not conceiving of who you are, then you're not begetting me. You're not birthing it unless you know that it's you. The realization is when we come into that reflection, we're like, I am the olive. I'm simply waiting for that attraction to draw me into the encounter. And I'm not going to hesitate from embracing it. I'm going to see it for what it is. That's conception. I'm conceiving what the language has showed me, and it's moving me into a higher degree of awareness in myself. Now, and I can go into the word and verify this, but every time I go into the word to try to connect, and we're going to go into a verse here about the burden of Damascus here in a second, but this word for kum, the rose, out of the vibration of germination, is the heart of Sekhmet. That's the spelling of Sekhmet. Semet, Kuf, Aleph, Mem, Tav. In this Kuf, Aleph, Mem is the word for the stand in the rose. On the mirror of that, saying Mem, Aleph, Kuf, in the mirror of the stand in the rose is the well-founded deep, the bottom. This is from the bottom of my heart, from the depth of my well. I am sound. I am the foundation of the deep. I am Tiamat. I am Ma'at. I am Thoth. I am Sekhmet. I am life and death in the expression of knowing what it is. And in this I stand as a rose, as Cain. I have now taken the noon, put it into the place of the progenitor, created my own force potential. By right ascension, I am now risen as a rose.
As the truth.
As the truth.
Aleph Mem Tav.
Aleph Mem Tav in the green right there. Amet is the word for truth. Sekhmet is the truth of the stand of the rose. She is the well. She is the formed bottom, and she is the top. She is the declaration of independence. She is a constitution.
Can I show images of her?
Show images of her.
Just so that you know.
So we get the language of the lion, but this is Sekhmet, and for anyone that's been around us long enough, they know the language of the Black Panther.
Hold on. I defined it first, so I'm not making.
So these are the pictures of what she is in vibration.
It's interesting that she has the serpent on her head, if you can see in both of those pictures with the sun disk. So the serpent and the sun disk, and that is connected to the seraphim.
So everything that we say of the lion's roar, O Yeshua, the Lion of Judah, it means the lion of praise. And so everything of praise is knowing the self-worth of your own mere praise, right? Have much desire, have much envy for yourself, not negatively. I'm going to break this down, but be jealous for what you see, because it's this reflection of you if you can conceive it. Most of us are so laden with the guilt and the shame that
Lack of worth.
Lack of trust.
Yeah. And
I want to focus on a specific word the Spirit gave me yesterday, and I was so lost in the expression of what it was. It was like, and it was teaching me forgiveness. Because most of us, we can say, really, I forgive you, but we have no business saying I forgive you unless we are totally forgiven in ourselves. That's the only way we can free another. We say the word and we say it as a representation, and we're a little short-sighted, some of us, not saying all of us, I'm just saying, but we can assist us. I'm only sharing this so I can broaden your image of a nation so you can forgive yourself to fulfill the divine nation of the intention of who Yerushalayim is, to return as flow, as one sound rose.
So good.
By knowing the generosity of the seed, you germinate yourself. By reciprocity, I draw in to draw out. In this expression, I am found. I am Moshe. Draw yourself out. It's very important in this season right now to draw yourself out. Do not be concerned about other people. The best thing you can do for other people is to draw yourself out.
Agreed. 100%.
And you might find some loneliness. You might find some solitude. I love it, actually. I love it when I have to deal with other people's nonsense. I can simply move into my expression. I don't find that funny. I find that this is me.
Laughing because I can verify that.
Oh, yes. My wife can verify that.
As I was working through my nonsense, which was all painstaking growth. So
I'm just
lovingly.
Yeah,
lovingly.
But yes, and absolutely. But again, there's a difference between having people that have a willingness to go into their own level of resolve, to go into reciprocity, which is, again, right. It's It's the language of execution through prosecution. So you have to execute this yourself. The deed of this is Damascus. What is Damascus again? The rise and fall of Damascus is the burden of responsibility. Damascus means the silk in your blood. Damascus will fall, and in the expression of its fall, it will be awakened from the strong dream, and so it shall arise as a rose. We have been told a lie to what, well, no, we've allowed ourselves to be inundated with a system of control. We've relinquished our sovereignty by free will. There is an ill will and a well will. That is it. Those are the two wills. There's no in between on this. Well, we are in between, I guess. We're holding the hands. We're in between those two wills. But the expression is, I mean, like we try to say free will. No, there is no free will. It is ill will or well will. That's the expression of evil and good. Collapsing it. All it means is one is distant from the other. The ill is the expression that's seeking well. That's it. That's all it really is. And so until you know the walk of inculcation of reciprocity to execute the deed of responsibility, right? Till that's fulfilled, you're still in the journey of well, sound, whole. Some of us have turned deep into the well of ill, unfortunately. We've taken the left hand and we've gone deep into that dark without the authority of the white garment of what the ingathering of wellness. All of us most likely are watching our food or watching the vibration of what we intake, our surroundings, our atmospheres. We nurture the essence of honor and morals and ethics and selflessness of how to steward ourselves is stewarding another. So it's actually self-adoration that allows me to express it on another. That's generous.
Yeah, so we can all play well with each other.
Really, but my focus is on myself. It's not on another, but I've rightly collapsed it to fill it back up to say, I focus on my self-care. I focus on my well-being. I focus on my food. I focus on my body. I focus on my temple. It's my job description. It's my responsibility.
Man, amen. So good, Ken. So good.
When I do that, I honor the temple. When I honor the temple, I fulfill the deed. When I fulfill the deed, I am the title called temple. When I am that, I can then assist another.
Because then you've just been filled.
I've been filled and I'm infilling. And along in my infilling, right? In my infilling, by always having myself in my mirror, by seeing myself before this is right now. If I was to say this another way, gosh, he's selfish. He sees himself before another. Nope. I put myself in right perspective in the reflection of the mirror, what's been offered, the great constitution of a rose. I see the rose first.
Yes.
And in the glimpse of the rose, I can see you in the reflection behind me and in front of me and all around me when I see correctly, because my eyes are focused on the prize.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Myself as a rose.
Oh man, Ken.
My heart is that you would all see yourself as a cherished rose, that you'd break free of the encumbrance of guilt and shame and doubt and confusion. But there it is, regardless, as an opportunity. All I can do is share from the potential of what it is, so you would see clearly what it is to be a rose. That's all I can do.
Amen.
We're quickly moving to a time where there's something circumnavigating the earth right now as an expression of frequency, very generous, very kind, because it's the similitude of grace. It's the race of my family. They're called the trusted ones of love that have already fulfilled the deed and are titled with the gift of love. They're waiting for me to make love. They're waiting for you to make love.
That's right.
They're waiting for all your compassionate pieces to finally let go of it so you can find yourself. Stop hanging on to the nonsense, to the belittlement, to the unnecessary. Allow yourself the great transfer of translation to step in the worth, the great desire of you to come forward as a rose. Tend your garden as necessary. It doesn't necessarily mean we need to prune with vengeance. That's not what I'm saying. But again, redefine vengeance. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. What does that mean? Cain, the mirror of Cain means I am avenged. Vengeance is mine. Vengeance is mine. Reframe, reconstitute, commit to the action of responsibility, prune what is necessary, and avenge yourself. I'm a jealous God.
So good.
Vengeance is mine.
Wow.
When you reframe and reconstitute, man, the power comes back into your belly, and out of that comes a silver cup because it overflows. This is quickly moving into the gold standard, which is about to enter in. But before you can go into the gold standard, before you go into the cup of the silver within the belly, you have to know the brazen nature of the reflection of Nakash, the laver and the altar. You must know what it is to sacrifice yourself as an offering, as a holocaust up in smoke, to then gaze upon the reflection of the depth of the water, to see the reflection of the ancient order in the mirror.
Are you a burning one?
Are you a burning one? Because we're about to see a separation in the world right now between those that burn and those that are not. Those that say they are, but they have not performed the duty of responsibility through reciprocity. They have not enacted execution, the death sentence. I sovereignly sentence myself to death. Second act, the last two words, death. Last three letters, truth. In the center, the stand of the rose. Reverse it, the well foundation. From the bottom of my heart, I declare it to be true. Sound as a rose, there it is. No longer the sting and death. I'm now trusted to move into the dimension out of time. And in that authority, I bring out of time into time.
So good. Oh my goodness.
That's
Wow.
what we're being offered right now. Be about the business of yourself.
Man.
This is the progenitor. So we're quickly moving into this frequency of the essence of truth. Again, truth. What is your truth? Because your truth can only be your atmosphere. You cannot lie to yourself anymore. We're quickly moving into a season where you're going to have to see yourself in a different light, hopefully, unless you already are the light. My heart is that you would quickly see the truth of the light. Because what's about to happen in the world is this tree is about to take a form. And in that form, it's about to shake. And in that shaking, it will reveal everything that is not. It will return to the standard of the lofty branch. Messiah ben Joseph. And at the right hand will be Benjamin, right? The right-handed brother who is left-handed. They're both the same. First occurrence, I'm not joking. Benjamin, by definition, is called the son of the right hand. And its first occurrence, he says he is left-handed. Why? Because he knows the way of mother and the way of father. That's why Joseph brought him back from the silver cup from the sack. He brought him back. What is the silver cup? It's a good question. The silver cup means out of your belly you are full. You're impregnated with a conception of who you are. And out of that, the reciprocity you have drawn in and you've drawn out the measure of silver. Daniel's gold standard of the head and the shoulders. Well, underneath that is the gold measure of the cup being filled before the head is birthed into the world in the gold standard, which is coming. But again, we must know the clay and the iron of the feet, move into the brazen nature of the calves into the thighs, and then may we see the gold or the silver cup pulled out of the belly or out of the sack,
Oh my gosh.
out of the mirror.
So that's why the stone comes in and it demolishes the statue. That's Damascus.
That's Damascus.
Oh my gosh. That is brilliant.
Damascus will fall.
God.
Damascus will evaporate. And I've cherished it I'm honored to call you family for the ones that are about to rise into the standard of the gold. We're about to be headshiped. We're about to see the reshit of the better sheet of the Genesis of however you want to say it in English, to Greek, to Aramaic, to Hebrew, does not matter. My heart would be that you would see it in the vibration of truth, a Sekhmet, as truth as a rose, as the deep resolved, as Tiamat, as the dragon, right? Who can do this? Who can draw in and draw out the ancient order of Leviathan? Who can put together the ancient order of the sacred covenant, Leviathan, Tiamat, life and death as one measure, fully calibrated as one standing as a rose, once again. The ancient order back in the world, the right toppling of the government. By turning yourself inside out, I stand as a rose.
Oh man. Damn. Ooh. I know, Pam. I get it. Keith, all of you guys, I've just felt that big time. Whew, I'm a little spinny right now in a good sense. I just feel like, yeah, that just, you lifted everything up to a much higher level with you, what you just flowed in. Thank you.
There's something coming in that's extremely powerful right now, and I want to just send that into you, however you receive that. My heart is that you would, in your, it's visiting me in the nighttime now. Get ready, prepare yourself. My heart is that you would, it actually, I can feel it, just, you know, the generosity, what it is as an offering, as an expression to fill this ancient order. And just, it actually, it makes me want to weep for just the preparation of what is being offered right now, and the due diligence and the sacrifice that we've all performed a duty or response. I don't want to diminish anyone here. I want to raise up the vibration. There's nothing distant from you. It's all you. Stop projecting it in any other direction other than inwardly. It's time. This is what buzzer goes off.
That's so awesome.
I was hoping for lightning, but I only got a buzzer. All the power is not here yet.
Oh my God.
So we only got a buzzer. In the seriousness of this, my heart is that
Kaduka.
there's
Kaduka. Arriba. All right. Oh my gosh, Ken.
so I want to move into a direction here now. Again, I want to stir the atmosphere because, again, there's so many things behind me on this board that are coming so lightning fast. But I don't want to burden you, but I want to make the connection of the silver cup and what's about to come crashing in as the stone cast down to reveal the true nature and the essence of who you are. You cannot hide from this.
No.
You cannot say I'm this without the extrapolation of knowing that you are by a broadened imagination that is no longer vain. Because this will collapse upon itself, because truth is a law that begets itself. It's the language of conception by the impregnation of the noon, by the way, is the seed. The noon is the progenitor that is in you. It's written as a code within you that's looking to see, do you have the ability? Do you desire to rise as a rose? Because when this all comes around and about in the realization of who you are, everyone will be realized the same potential in me is the same potential in you.
Amen. Absolutely.
There is no hiding from this. There'll be a lot of people that go like, oh my gosh, this was in me all along. Yes, my heart, Carrie's heart, everyone that I'm in a relationship with as a shouldering of government is speaking the same frequency of realization of who you are as a potential.
Yes. Yes.
They may come from different angles. I'm being honest with myself. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just flowing from my mountain to my river. That's all I'm doing. I know the cycle of my return, and on that I reign upon myself as a sovereign. That's my cycle of the mist rises in my kadmon, in my atom, within the cycle of my return, right? I'm connecting with an ether reality that is beyond time. And in the expression, I'm simply grasping it, allowing it to process through me as the language of flow. And I don't want to stop the flow, because this is what we've all been seeking, is the ability to self-navigate without having to preconceive the thought, because it's already begotten. It's already in the measure of what is begotten. And this is my point of where I want to get to.
Thank you for your flow.
So what is this measure of reciprocity that is the language of execution through prosecution? And again, prosecution, right? Right defined prosecution means to follow after. You bear witness first. Then prosecution comes, and only means I follow after.
It's exactly what Yeshua was saying, that those who follow after him would no longer be in darkness.
Right. So my question is, what is your statement of decree? What is your sentencing that after I follow to say something? Because I'm going to cross-examine. What is cross-examination? Cross-examination. Cassette. It's the inculcative walk of compressing yourself, and the generosity with the covenant was in yourself. That's a cross-examination. It's within yourself. There's no hiding from this. The judge, the witness, prosecution, jury, everything is in you. So all you need to do is, well, don't need to do anything, but if we were to take a blood swipe, Damascus would tell where you are in your rise or fall.